We're gonna get here today to go over the Stomping Ground card. As you can hear, my voice is a little hoarse from this weekend, but we're still gonna be here. We're still gonna go over this review. And the first match on the card was the pre-show. It was the cruiserweight title match between Akira Tozawa, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak. Now, to me, this match underwhelmed. A lot of people were saying it was a great match, but in this match, there was a couple of botches that I was just like, wow, this match, it's not as good as people are saying it is. Don't get me wrong, I like Tony Nese. I like Drew Gulak. I'm not a huge fan of Tozawa, but there's a couple of matches there that kind of downgraded the match for me. It was still a good match. I would still say it's probably a thumbs up match, but I wouldn't say it was one of the great matches that everybody else was saying. Now, in this match, Drew Gulak ended up winning after he defeated Nese and Tozawa, and Drew Gulak became your new cruiserweight champion. Gulak dropped Tozawa with the torture rack neck breaker, and then ended up winning the pinfall, meaning that Nese didn't really lose the title. So I imagine we're going to get another match with Tony Nese, whether that be at the next pay-per-view or on 205 Live. But very, very, very good match. I wouldn't say it was a great match, but it was definitely a good match. It's not as good as people are saying it is, but it was okay. One thing that they actually say here in the analysis is the action was red hot. I do want to touch on one thing. One thing throughout the entire show was the crowd in Tacoma, Washington was actually pretty hot. They were popping for everything. It was a really live crowd. We all coming into it, we had no expectations. We thought the show was going to be awful. The show blew everybody out of the water. I wouldn't say it was the best show of the year. Actually, probably the best main roster show so far since Mania. But definitely a very hot crowd. I was actually genuinely surprised on how hot the crowd was for this. And we know that half of the arena was sort of like barricaded off. You couldn't go over there, but it was a very hot crowd for what it was, and it felt kind of like a house show. It really did. Now, the next match is the start of the main pay-per-view, and it was the Raw Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans. In this match, I could have swore Lacey Evans was going to win, but she's not going to win. Becky ended up winning, and that sets the storyline for later tonight when Lacey might or might not be done on this card, but Becky ended up having Lacey tap out. This one must be like the most powerful move, because every time it's locked in, people tap real quick. Real quick. Now, this match was actually probably, I wouldn't go as far to say it was Lacey's best match ever, because I don't remember her NXT matches very well, but definitely her best main roster match so far. Lacey Evans in this match looked a whole lot better than what she's done in any match, to date at least. But the right victor won, and sets up an interesting thing later on in the night. The New Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is next. This match delivered in any sense of the word. The only problem I had with the New Day versus Kevin Owens is I did not care. I don't know why they're feuding. I don't know what their issues are against each other. Yeah, sure. Big E got attacked by Kevin Owens. Big whoop. Big whoop. But what does Sami Zayn and Xavier have to do with anything? I still don't know the feud. It's something we've seen on a Brawl show before, but definitely good in-ring talent in both teams, and they put on a very good match. Owens and Zayn ended up beating the New Day. Who did Owens pin? Owens pinned Xavier Woods with the stunner to help them be victorious. There was one point in this match that I thought Sammy was about to get the pin, because Sammy hit a blue thunder bomb, but he was about to hit a luva kick, it was a very good look out for Sami Zayn. But very good match, very good match. And this was the match that I popped for the most. If you saw me on Twitter, recorded my reaction, very excited. Ricochet beat Samoa Joe. I don't know why Samoa Joe ever got the title back in the first place when Ray just handed it to him. But I'm not going to hang my head on that. Ricochet is finally the United States champion, a guy that I've met personally, a guy that I look up to as one of the best wrestlers in the world. Now, Ricochet, I gave. See, the thing is, I was doing a little thing with my buddies where I was grading the matches. This got an A minus because I thought this was going to be the match of the night, but it wasn't. It was not for me, at least. A lot of other people were saying some other stuff might have been match of the night. Ricochet and Joe delivered in any sense of the word. What can I say? The one thing that I did not expect was Ricochet winning. Ricochet ended up hitting a 630 onto Samoa Joe, and at that moment I was like, it's either Joe is going to kick out at 2, and the 630 is going to lose some credibility, or Ricochet is going to end up being the new United States champion. So I pulled my phone out. I was like, oh my lord, Ricochet, and he won. I couldn't believe it. I filmed Ricochet, and I also filmed him going through the back. Him going through the back was actually one of the best moments of the entire show, for me at least. I love to see the interactions between Ricochet and his fellow NXT people, where he went around, he hugged Heavy Machinery, he hugged Charlotte, he hugged Carmella, he hugged Seth Rollins. I don't remember who else was there, but he did also hug Triple H. Triple H came, gave him a pat on the back of the head, telling him, good job, Ricochet. You're next. I'm glad to see that Ricochet is finally being given his chance, and hopefully Ricochet could have a match against what was insinuated to be AJ Styles, because later on in the show, Ricochet was doing his photo ops, and AJ Styles and the club come on in and take pictures with him, and AJ says, I'll see you tomorrow night. Match made. I imagine the club's going to get involved tonight. I imagine that this is going to be the match going forward for SummerSlam, and I could not be happier. Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Sign me up. Where is the pen and where's the paper? Because I'll sign that sucker right now. I'd love to watch that match. Now, this is the match that actually stole the show for me. This is the match that I said was match of the night, in my opinion. It was Daniel Bryan versus Heavy Machinery. Now, I like Heavy Machinery, but Heavy Machinery had a really good showing here. Daniel Bryan, obviously, one of the best heels in the business. Rowan, obviously, booked to be one of the strongest heels in the business when it comes to in-the-ring work. Now, the thing I do want to put here is Otis. Otis is a star. The whole crowd's behind Otis. Otis, when he does the worm into the elbow drop, everything about Otis is just screams star potential for the tag team division. Same thing with Tucker. Tucker's not necessarily the most charismatic. That's Otis, but Tucker's a very good in-ring performer as well. The thing about this match is that at the end of the night, they had me believing that Heavy Machinery was going to win this match, simply because of how great Heavy Machinery looked. The way Heavy Machinery was booked made them look like legitimate stars in the tag team division. It's not the joke Heavy Machinery anymore. It's not. It was a very entertaining match, a very fun match for Otis to get over, for Tucker to get over, for the Heavy Machinery to get over, for the heels, Daniel Bryan and Rowan, to get over, for beating the little baby faces. Just had all the momentum going forward towards the conclusion of that match. And I think that Heavy Machinery is going to be the tag team champions next, because you cannot tell me that the crowd, you did not see the reaction to that crowd. that crowd would have been 100% behind Heavy Machinery gaining the titles that last night, Sunday. Um, sure, it is Daniel Bryan's hometown, but everybody loved Heavy Machinery's performance. I think everybody would have been behind it if Heavy Machinery was to win. Did they miss the opportunity? Maybe. But I think Heavy Machinery has a title run in their future. They definitely showed that they are capable of putting on phenomenal matches. And now the next step is to go out and become the champions and continue that. So, big props for both Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery. Both teams looked exceptionally well. Like I said, Heavy Machinery is one of the most entertaining things throughout the entire company. It is. It is. Next, we have the SmackDown Women's Title match, and wow, this is the moment where I said things are about to change. Things are about to take a downfall from here. We had two good matches, like real good matches, and then we had I'm talking, when I say good matches, I mean like matches that I would like go back and watch. New Day and Kevin Owens. The only reason that I didn't it was a good match, but I just had no emotional investment. Same thing with Lacey and Becky, but both of those two last matches were very good, very well produced. Everything on the show so far has been very good, though. But this is where things I thought were going to take a downfall, and surprised. One thing that I want to say is, I don't know if Alexa's been training or what it was, but something about this felt a whole lot different than what was 2 years ago when Alexa Bliss beat Bayley. Now, maybe it's just that Bayley won, but something in this match felt a whole lot more put together. Bayley obviously had to take out she had to what's it called? She had to block out the fact that Nikki Cross was ringside. Cross ended up checking in on a stunned Bliss, and who shoved her friend into the path of a flying Bayley. So basically, Bayley took out Nikki Cross. Very generic. But back in the ring, Bliss comes in. This is where I thought everything was going downhill. She goes on the top rope. It is Twisted Bliss time. I was like, oh my, she's hitting this and she's winning the championship. Bayley gets the knees up. I don't think I've seen somebody get the knees up on a Twisted Bliss. At least I don't recall. Not allowed Bayley to hit the Bayley to belly. Like I said, very, very good match. Bayley ended up winning. I wouldn't say it was the best match on the card at all, but very good match. It looks like Alexa's been training. Maybe it was just that Bayley carried her. Maybe Alexa has actually been training. I'm not sure, but the match came off a whole lot better than what it was 2 years ago at Extreme Rules in, I believe it was San Diego. I think it was Bayley's hometown. Next was a match that people were either in love with or hated with. I just didn't care. It was not a bad match, but it wasn't a great match either. It was Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. What do you expect? You get a Shane McMahon interference. Roman Reigns overcomes it, ends up winning. Roman Reigns beat Drew McIntyre. The only thing I would have put differently in this match is I would have McIntyre win, because that makes McIntyre look even worse now because he's had an 0-2 run at Reigns. There's nothing to break down about this match, really. It was okay. The only problem about this match is that Shane McMahon is still around. But yeah. Next, we had the WWE Championship match. Kofi versus Dolph Ziggler. This was a match that I enjoyed, but not... This was the match where it wasn't necessarily what we expected. We thought this could be a match of the year candidate, maybe this show, the match of the night, but it wasn't necessarily that. It was a lot of kind of feeling out for each other match. It was a couple zigzags, a failed attempt at a SOS, or my bad, a Trouble in Paradise, not SOS. Yeah, it wasn't anything too special when it came to that, but the ending is really what got me to pop. Now, the ending, they've been trying to crawl out the door the entire match. Kofi's on the whole other side of the ring. Dolph Ziggler's halfway out. And the ending shocked me. I've never seen a match ended like this. At least, I don't think I have. The way Kofi Kingston won the match is Dolph Ziggler's calling it through the bottom rope. Kofi Kingston dives through the middle rope, lands on like the back of his head or something. I mean, it looked like a weird landing. But he lands on the outside of the ring, feet on the ground. Kofi Kingston won. I don't think I've ever seen somebody dive out of the ring to win a match when somebody else was crawling out to try to get there. Now, if you've seen it, please tell me which match it was, because I'd love to go back and check it out. But it was a very interesting way to end the match. I did not see that coming at all. And it provides a decent story that Kofi is willing to take all the risks to end up winning, and he literally had to dive to remain his championship. And the last match on the card, what do you want me to say? This was the only negative, really. I mean, sure, Shane being on the show was a negative. Like I said, I didn't really care. Everything else was very good. The match between Kofi and Dolph was not the best, but very good ending. But the only match that I look at and I say I had a problem with that match is really the Universal Championship match, and it's Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. It's nothing because of Seth Rollins. It's nothing because of Baron Corbin. It's not. And the problem that I had with it was it began with the special guest referee. It was Lacey Evans. And from this point on, nobody cared. There was a tweet I sent out going over crowd reactions. Lacey's stupid. AEW. Daniel Bryan. CM Punk. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. There's a lot of chants going on during this match. Because nobody wants to see Lacey. Nobody does. Now everybody, well, at least Bleacher Report is saying it was an A+ match because Lacey and Baron worked the crowd. I did not enjoy this whatsoever. Sure, it offers an interesting prospect of maybe we have an intergender match, but this match just came off weird. Though every time Rollins would try be in the momentum, every time Rollins had the upper hand, he'd go for a pin, maybe. Lacey, 1, 2. Oh, I pulled my shoulder. Every time. Lacey changes the rules. When can a referee change the rules all of a sudden? Now Lacey can say, oh, this is a no disqualification, no count-out match. She can just make that up on the spot. Why does John Cone not do that? Why does he not? Huh? Why does Kyoto not do that, huh? It just came off very weird. Then, this is where things they just got weird. Seth Rollins, obviously getting mad at Lacey. Lacey hits a low blow on Seth Rollins. Baron Corbin going for the victory. Ends up kicking out. And who comes on out? Becky. Of course she's coming out. She attacks Lacey. Lacey's out of the match. John Cone comes down to the ring. John Cone's the new ref. And Seth Rollins picks up the victory. Now, the thing is about this match, I understand Seth can't do anything. I understand that. But basically what they were insinuating is Seth's losing the title if it wasn't for Becky. That's not the way you want to book your Universal Champion, in my opinion. You want to make Seth Rollins look legit. You want to make Seth Rollins be the kind of guy that he would have won either way. He knocked Baron Corbin out for 40 minutes. Baron Corbin was knocked out cold. Lacey had to count to 3. Or, better yet, Becky could have came out earlier. Ended it earlier. Ended everybody's misery. But she allows to have Lacey Evans prance around, adding all these stipulations, false counts, not doing the right job, fast counts for Baron. She allows all this to happen, but once they do the low blow spot, that's the last point. Should have came out earlier. Should have ended it earlier. The only thing this match did is it made Becky sort of on the Universal Championship level by saying the Universal Champion is only the champion right now because Becky saved him. That's the only thing it did for anybody. It didn't do nothing for Seth. It didn't do anything for Baron. It didn't do anything for Lacey. It didn't do anything for Becky. Well, it kind of did something for Becky. But can we please now move on from this Becky Lacey stuff? Can we please? Can we please? It is not gonna work. Lacey is not ready. Let her go train. Let her go back to NXT. Let her do what she has to do to get better. And while you're at it, you can probably go take Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin can polish up a little too. Don't get me wrong, I like Baron Corbin, but before he gets back in the main event scene, at least, I think they should polish up a little bit. Don't we? Don't you think? Don't you think Baron Corbin should polish up if he's going to be in the main event scene? Because right now, Baron Corbin is not a main event kind of guy. Mid-card, sure. Main event. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. I don't even know what the next pay-per-view is. Probably what? I don't even know. I almost thought SummerSlam. Could it be SummerSlam? Oh, it's Extreme Rules. The only reason I knew that is because they had the ad for it. Yeah, that'll be fun. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. And hopefully you guys enjoyed Stomping Around as much as I did. I only have one complaint this time. Only one major complaint about a match. So, thumbs up for me. Thumbs up for me. Nice to see it.